Morning guys, hello. Yes, Saturday, okay. It was quite early in the morning. Had a chat with one of my neighbours who hasn't got enough fuel. In fact, two of my neighbours haven't got enough fuel, and I'll tell you about that in a little while. Rumour is that there are queues at Tesco's 5 o'clock this morning because they're waiting for a 9 o'clock delivery. And yes, I did ask as well. And the forecourt attendant that was doing the traffic directing said, yeah, we might have a delivery. Yep, so look how it's going, okay? Now, I would treat this as a training exercise, and a serious training exercise, to see what happens when there is a glitch in the matrix or there are problems with the supply chain. Thanks, Lee, for the comment about what actually could have happened. And what he said, guys, is that it was to do with BP. Said they didn't have enough drivers, therefore they're shutting a couple of their garages because they can't deliver. This was blown out of all proportion, and yes, suddenly it has caused problems all the way around. Yeah, well, let's go with that one. Let's play with that one, because that's a rational answer to things rather than looking at conspiracy theory or the Russians have stopped supplying the UK with diesel or anything like that. You know, that's silly, but it's things that people say on the internet. So I generally just listen to the news and I watch a little bit, skim stuff. I don't go on Facebook. Facebook has been awash with pictures of people doing stupid things. As usual, they do, because that's what the internet is there for. It's amusement, isn't it? And panic and shock and sensationalism, okay? So, right, where are we now on Saturday? We're looking at maybe shortages for the week, because all the fuel stations around the country have been drained. They've been sucked dry with people who have panicked. And as I said before, I don't blame them, because they don't know what's coming next. Therefore, they're filling the tanks up. They're doing their 20, 30 pounds. Or like myself, I just replenish my tank like I usually do. Yeah, but they don't have any extras stored, right? Which is an issue, okay? Now, I did look up on the internet today to see how much you can actually store. I know that some people will store quite a lot of fuel and then cycle it. And what I do it sensibly. I have enough located in different areas. So if I'm in one town, I know I can go somewhere and fill up. So I've got a full tank, and at home as well, okay? So I keep within the regulations, which is 30 litres. Yeah, that's all you're allowed to keep at home for a motor vehicle. Unless you're keeping more, then you have to have the relevant tanks and notify the authorities where it is stored. Okay, so they know where your fuel is, so they can come and take it if they want it. Okay, so here's this is the information that I got off the internet. Okay, so that's 5 or 10 litre plastic container. Anything over 10 litres to 20 litres is a metal jerry can, and 30 litres is a demountable fuel system or fuel tank, which I don't know what that is, but I'll just Google it quickly. Yeah, well, okay. Yeah, so that's how much fuel you're allowed to keep at home in the UK, at home. And I do understand that the regulations are there for sensibility, because people are stupid. Yeah, carrying stuff home in plastic bags, storing petrol in the house, or storing vast amounts of gasoline somewhere, which could be a huge hazard, not only explosive hazard or a fire hazard, but also if containers leak, get knocked over, whatever, then that could actually cause environmental damage as well, okay, because they have to then try and get it out the water courses. So yeah, serious thing. So that's what you'd expect to keep, okay? It doesn't say anything about keeping more in your vehicle, though, does it? Yeah. So I'm squared away. I'm okay for a certain period of time. Yeah. Anything after that, then obviously I won't be driving to work, because there will be a national catastrophe, won't there? Vehicles will not be moving on the whole. Now, I did notice in the past, I always try to keep up the observational skills of things that happen, just useless information, like ambulances filling up at fuel stations, police cars filling up at fuel stations. What are they going to do now if there is no fuel? That I don't know. I'm sure they have contingency plans for filling up. And I do have a mate who works in the ambulance brigade. He's a technician. I've got loads of technicians, mates. Yeah, so I will find out and I'll let you know if he knows, yeah, later on. But if they've drained the tanks everywhere. What are the ambulance service going to do? As far as I'm aware, the fire service do have their own fuel. Maybe they will use those, I don't know. But yeah, you can see the repercussions of a little bit of a panic is going to cause a lot more problems. Now, I was talking to a neighbour when I came back home. He'd been working on his car. He'd had the day off. Yeah, got his car ready for an MOT. He works in the city, so he has to commute 12, 13 miles a day. Yeah. And I said, you heard the news today? No, hasn't heard the news, doesn't listen to the news, didn't know that everybody was piling into the fuel stations. And you could see the expression on his face. He wasn't prepared, didn't have any extra fuel. Therefore, he may have problems next week getting into work. So if I was in that situation, I would have a contingency plan. Telephone. Hello, I don't have enough fuel to get into work today. I'll see if I can get some this week. Otherwise, I'm going to have to book some holidays. Yeah, that is about the only thing you can do, unless you can find alternative transport or commute with somebody who's going in the same direction. Organise with workmates to be picked up if they live near you. Yeah, car sharing if you like. And then chuck them some money until the crisis has averted. Well, actually, it's not crisis. It's until the situation has subsided. Okay. Yeah. So I also rang the missus as well. This was an interesting one. She was on a bicycle in the town. She'd had the day off, and I asked her, I said, "Do you have a full tank of fuel?" "No, I've only got about half a tank." "Right, okay, can you fill up now?" "Well, I don't know, there's loads of queues in the fuel stations, I don't know why that is." She wasn't really paying attention, she wasn't aware of the situation. All she did was see a couple of things and didn't make the connection until I said, and then she realised that people were panicking. Yeah, so it's worth actually, people that you know, your family and loved ones, is that they get prepared and keep a spare canister and top up and fill up when they can. Keep a full to 3/4 of a tank. Yeah, because they're the last people to think of it. They got loads of other things on their minds, other priorities. Yeah, and mainly filling up is just a regular thing, isn't it? But now suddenly it isn't. Yeah, the majority of the country are not prepared as usual. Some people are, some people aren't. Yeah. So anyway,
25 Henry, return your previous frequency, please.
And you can't run your vehicle on heating oil. You can on red diesel, but red diesel, heating diesel, is only for commercial premises. Okay, yeah, unless you're lucky enough to get a supply of red diesel. But then again, you can't use it on the highway, can you? Yeah, because it's tax exempt, isn't it? Yeah. So anyway, yeah, learning curve. Me personally, what I do when I'm got in a situation like this, I have to adapt. As I said before, you have to look at the situation rather than the rumours and all the panic and chaos that goes on Facebook and in the media. Is like, look at the immediate situation, what's actually going on in your immediate area, and then adapt to it. Okay, it's more about reaction, not panicking, rather than reacting. Yeah. So responding, should I say, excuse me. It's responding, okay, calmly, rather than reacting, which is getting emotional, getting hyped up, and then being desperate, okay, because that's what other people are doing. Yeah, most of the UK, yeah. So are we going to see a calm down of this? Yeah, in a little while, maybe within a week. They have to replenish the garages yet, don't they, the forecourts, and that's going to take some time. This is a training exercise, isn't it? Take it as a training exercise. Assess maybe if you've gone wrong somewhere and you got stuck out on a limb, or whether you were okay for the time being. Okay, so we'll take it as a week to get themselves sorted out, and everything will be back to normal. If it's not sorted within a week, then we do have issues and the country will grind to a halt, which is going to be a massive knock-on effect. Yeah. And this is what people do. They panic and they cause lots of problems. They only think of themselves. But if they didn't think of themselves, other people would do, and they would take advantage. So you have to, first of all, make sure that you're okay and squared away, and then deal with other people. So I had a mate call me last night, asked me if I had any spare diesel, and the answer was no. Although I could have helped him out, I'm looking after myself first. He should have been prepared. Now, his only issue is driving to work and back, which he can take a bicycle to work because he only lives 5 miles away from work. So get on your bike, mate, ride to work and ride back until this thing blows over. That's as easy as. Although I didn't say it straight away like that, I did infer. Yeah, because you got to be polite with your mates. Yeah, it's like, yeah, you got a bike anyway, mate. You'll be okay, won't you? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, because that's the last people you want to upset. Yeah, in a time of crisis, people will come to you if they know that you have extras, won't they? Or they will be looking for help because they're never prepared. They never are. And to be honest with you, nobody can be totally prepared. All you can do is be responsive to a situation and make sure that you can deal with the situation in hand without any crazy repercussions. So yeah, UK, the UK is going through some things. Whether it's a planned collapse, we don't know yet, or whether it is just random stuff that happens because of one thing. Everything has a knock-on effect, doesn't it? First we have the COVID, then we have the drivers shortages, and then we have less food in the shops, and suddenly we have panic buying and no fuel. Yeah, so you can see how it very quickly escalates. Yeah, take it as it is. Like I say, it's a training exercise. You get over it, you assess where things went wrong, and then you prepare for the next one, because the next one that will come, if it's prolonged, will be a bigger problem, as we know already, don't we? So anyway, guys, that's it. I know you've been looking in my shelves, haven't you, to see what I've got there. It's just natural. People are so nosy. And yes, I have a load of stuff here. This is my man cave garage, which is not prepared at the moment. I'm now starting to do things, get things hung up on the wall. And yes, I do have a chainsaw in the back here. Yeah, chainsaw, which is going into something which I will show you later. But today I've got to vacuum out the car and get that plastic stuck properly, because this tape isn't actually that good. A little bit of tug and it's started to come loose, the plastic's ripped. Next thing to do is to now look for a door or a glass. Personally, I prefer to replace the whole door. It's a lot easier, a lot quicker. Although you know what's going to happen. It's going to end up like a clown car at the end of the day. Different coloured panels all over it, yeah? Which leads me on to the next thing. Yeah? What am I going to do with this car? Shall I turn it into an apocalypse car, paint it army green and then get it right? I think so. Yeah, I think so. I did see a guy with a pickup truck turned up, dropped his mate off, and I thought, you're a prepper. Yeah, there's nothing like advertising, but then people don't really take you too seriously if you have an army green car with yellow wheels, do they? They just look and think, what the fuck's that? Yeah, they don't make the connection. Some people do, some people don't. The last thing I want to say, this is interesting, okay? This is why you keep quiet about what you do. Okay, so work colleague, female, she was blaming preppers for storing stuff. This is why we have a fuel shortage. Yeah, this is what she said. It's people like them that cause these problems. They hoard stuff and it makes it hard for other people to get their fuel. I don't think so. I don't think so, because these people have already prepared. They've already got their stuff. They're not rushing out and filling jerry cans up. When it happens, they've already got the jerry cans full, haven't they? Haven't we? Yes. This is the mentality you're faced with, so you always be quiet about what you do. Yeah, always be quiet about what you do. I have empty jerry cans in this garage. This is what people see. That's as far as they're going to know. Okay, if they look at them, I'll make a dingy noise. They know it's empty. Yeah, whereas I have my fuel elsewhere. Okay, yeah, OPSEC, as they say. Trust very few people. Just the people that are as squared away as you are. Right? So anyway, that's enough. I know preaching to the converted here, aren't we? But then again, you know, you pick ideas off me, I pick ideas off other people. Yeah, this is the way it works, and if it works and it helps us along the way, all the better. So anyway, that's enough from me today. I'll see you in the next video, which I don't know what I'm going to do actually. I've got loads to do and no time to do it in. But you will see. Next video coming up at some point.